Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. So, today we're going to talk about wanting to grow and what that means to me and what that means supposedly to you because you want to grow, right? You want to grow as big as you can so you can have stability for your family, whether they're adopted, whether they're fostered, whether they're um, consumed through you know what, but we're not going to go there. So let's talk about wanting to grow. So, you know what is the roughest word we could say? You hear somebody say the S word, they be like, you know what? And they like, you know what? You know what? So anyway, so growing. So you come up with this huge business plan. You come up with it like I did a couple of days ago. I came up with this huge business plan. This huge business. I was like, okay, I'm getting my school money back. Okay. But they changed the rules. They changed the rules. The rules are simple that you get half of your money or 10% of your money or 2% of your money now. You used to be able to get the whole lump sum. Like if you got 5,000, you would get 5,000 back. But now they changed the rules on that. So people that want that $5,000 to $10,000, they can't get that $5,000 to $10,000. They will have to get like $1,000 or $2,000 back. And that ruined my plan. That ruined my plan, but I still got a plan beyond that. But I can't talk about it. But that ruined my plan because people take this money and they don't do the right things. Like it took me nearly to my doctorate's program to learn how to manifest an income. Even though I had it's like this. You have to make sure you play the game when you play the game. You have to make sure and it's not a game, but you have to, I don't look at it as a game. It's a learning experience. It's more so of a learning experience than anything else. And you have to learn it. Like for instance, I've learned it how to sit up there and play the good old game by being professional and maintaining you got to maintain professional. And that somebody told me one thing that somebody told me is that you got to speak with your customers. You got to speak with your customers. And that's true. And that's what I did. That's what I did when I had my first business. Everything was going good, and then I was sabotaged. I was sabotaged. And I was sabotaged by the owner of the company. And I don't, it can easily, it don't have to happen. I'm not saying it will happen, but it could happen again. And I don't want it to happen. What can little old me do? Nothing but have faith and pray over these wonderful two gentlemen that, you know, we can grow together and make great money together. You know, and that's what I'm about. I have no filter. I have no, um, I'm not trying to undercut or be like, well, you know, it's just me being like I am, like I'm undercutting my say so, but you know, I really want to grow. I really want to grow, and it takes time to grow. I've learned in a book that if you had it for 5 years and it's still not creating and generating wealth, then leave it alone. Leave it alone. I love what I do for a living when I get to interview people because it's like it's a whole different world and different ball game. Oh my God. I'm afraid. I don't. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. And they would shut up as soon as I turn up the thing. One step closer to the Supreme Court, which I assume is where they wanted this thing to go. Yes, I think that's right. Or they wouldn't have put it out the way they did. And I think the ultimate goal, as you've been saying, Professor Shirley has been saying, is to get it there. Of course, the Supreme Court is under no obligation to take it up if and when it gets to them. But it's certainly a fascinating legal issue, especially when you consider the context of the 14th Amendment, particularly the clause and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. The senator who wrote that clause at the time gave speeches about it and specifically said it did not include aliens. And so that was the understanding for many, many years as to who that clause applied to as far as people. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, I had to dig in there. They're talking about in Seattle, Washington right now that the judge blocks birthright citizenship executive order. Ah, wow. Oh man. This is crazy. This is crazy, man. I'm not in it. Right now, I'm not in that. I have nothing to say bad and because I don't, yeah. That's deep. That's deep. On one hand, they saying that aliens is not in that clause, and another hand, they're saying that states are suing. Yeah, this is going to be going down as history's most craziest, not even crazy in a bad way, but this is going to go down in history most Loonius is more like it. Loonius rides down the racial blur marks and down um, memory lane and racial inequality and DEI and all of this, just it's gonna be a whirlwind of history, and you're gonna see it. Children's, you're gonna see it in a timeline, and they're gonna go all the way back. They're gonna go back to world history. They're gonna go back to U.S. history. They're gonna go back, 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 back. It's gonna be such a great thing. It's gonna be such a great thing to go. We're in history now. We're in history now. You know, having history, world history, US history, you know, and they got other histories too, but I I loved learning about it. I loved and enjoyed learning about it. I enjoyed learning about it. Um, I enjoyed learning about different histories and different the Cold War, World War Two, World War One, the peace deal, all of those, Abe Lincoln, all of those. I remember, and I got an F in history. I got an F in history. I don't know why. All my other classes I was good. I had to really switch around my switching light bulbs. I had to take out one light bulb and put in another because history wasn't my thing. I got a D in history. I said, "Oh no, we're not gonna take you again," and fell. So I sat up there and I took another class. I don't remember the class I took, but I took another class. And yeah, yeah. I'm happy. Business, you come up with a business plan, the money isn't there like I was saying before. The money isn't there. What do you do? You know, you come up with a solution. You don't take out no loans or nothing. You just find a way. There's no excuses. You know, we I really want this. I really want this because it means a lot to me to be financially secure. And it mean a lot to me to be financially secure. And it'll mean a lot to me to be able to help. I want to help. I don't want to help too much now, but I want to help just enough where I can say, I don't have to go on the record right now for helping. All I have to say is, I want to help because I know that God is watching. And I'm not doing it because God is watching. You hear that, God? I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do. I learned it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. And I want to make sure I do the right things. I'm not perfect. I ain't saying I'm perfect. Or should I do the Gavin Newsom dance? I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but what I am saying is, um, I have good intentions. I have good intentions. So what I'm about to do right now, because I have to literally go do some things, run some errands. Um, I have to take care of some business while I am out on this side of town because I'm never coming back here again other than when I get my annulment and change the freaky dicky name on the daggone card. So, that, yeah. Um, I'm about to get off it. Oh. Mission accomplished. I got my ID. So one day, probably definitely not in the winter time, because I done busted my back before. I didn't bust it, because if it was bust, I'd be a paraplegic, which is nothing wrong with, because they're smart. They're smart individuals. But I broke, I hit my back. I was in Loveland, Colorado, and there was this ice sheet, and I had some boots on. I was like, these boots, okay, they gonna help me. So next thing you know, my legs was up in the sky, and hundreds of white people out of nowhere come out. I'm thinking that I'm about to get shot up or lynched. They're like, "Oh, are you okay?" I'm like, yes, I'm okay. I was like, thank you. I went like that. They always laugh when I do that. They're like, you're not Chinese. I'm like, okay, still, it's a respect thing. You know, I fell on my back and like it came out of hair salons. It was crazy, man. And that's probably why like I have to stretch my back sometimes and like stress it, and whatever. I don't know. I try to, keep it moving and keep it, going good. When I was at the ID place, there was two people that was on the list of Maryville police that can't get in the area because you got to call to get in. You have to call to get in the area that I was in. And thank God, I don't know what his rank was, but he was like real serious. It seemed like he didn't take a bad crap before he seen me. He was like, ma'am, can I help you? I was like, oh shit. I was like, can I go to Deers, please? And he's like, can you show me your ID? I was like, oh crap. So I showed him my VA ID and he's like, okay, it was pretty crazy, man. I enjoy being on base, It is different though. You know what I used to do, y'all? After I got out the military, I used to go back every year or every 6 months, right? I used to go back every 6 months. No lie, like clockwork. And this is probably why they gave me an honorable. But I would go back and be like, can we get this changed so I can get back in the military? I need to get back in the military. Please let me back in the military. But I kept going back. I kept going back. I kept going back. And that's why they was like, man, we gave you everything you need. Leave us alone. Cause only thing I need is my honorable certificate that says honorable discharge. They got copies of it, but they don't have the original one. And I want to get my hands on that because it means a lot to me. Hold up. It means a lot to me to get my hands on the actual certificate, but they won't send it. it's a certain way. So I went to the Army Review Board. Well, I didn't win. That's in Arlington, Crystal City. Um, I wrote the Army Review Board and they never wrote me back. So I don't know. They like, we're keeping as much distance from this chick as we can, you know. But the business plan, real quick, real quick, real quick. Sometimes it can work and sometimes it can't. You can work your plan by maybe saving. You can save, you know, you can sacrifice and save. And when you sacrifice, you make sure you ready for that splurge of that wave of business. Um, what I did was I have two employees. I if they want to maybe, you know, I truly hope that it works out and I'm able to have those two employees because I interviewed them both and we were at Starbucks, two different Starbucks. Um and they seem like wonderful employees. And it's not about that. They want this to be a part-time thing. One wants it to be a full-time thing. Um, yeah. So yeah, I don't know what the heck is going on. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm looking at the news. When the news come on, every 5 minutes, it's about Trump. And this is the cable. This is cable. I don't have cable. I have streaming, and it's nonstop. You know, they ABC, CBS, and NBC. It's on fire because they sit up there and how would you feel if you were a bishop? How would you feel if you were president of the United States of America and you sitting there with your family and all of a sudden she said I would have some sensitivity knowing he cannot debate her back. That was evil for her doing, for sitting up there saying that at that exact moment of that exact time. Have mercy. Have mercy on what? I don't get it. I don't know. He made a really uh mean face after she said that. And that's all they're showing. They're showing that and they're showing they said Trump touts economic achievements during speech. And that's my cue to turn it off because I get wrapped into it. But yeah, like that was just crazy. So don't have no income saved, you know, if you when you do get the income, be smart about it. Make sure you have enough employees that can do the job. Make sure you follow behind on your employees. Make sure you bring pizza to your employees. Make sure you help your employees one day. And then employee staff help day. You know, make sure you do different things with your staff. You know, I know it seemed like I didn't understand. It's easier said than done, because if you're not a people person, even people, they don't. It's like a chain of command. Like people, I forgot what it's called, but people who are people, like people persons, like where you are able to speak amongst a bunch of people, and not and be open to communication amongst a bunch of people, um extrovert, um then you're good. Well, when I'm in between both. I'm an extrovert and introvert, where if it's for business purposes and to get the message across, I have to, I'm in between both of them. I'm in between both of them. But if I'm not getting that point across, where like for instance, an extrovert, they like to speak a lot. They like people. Introvert stays to themselves. You can be a bit of both. It's a word for it. I forgot what it's called. But both parties, both words are good for learning how to grow. And some people don't like to speak to people. And I kind of, it's not that I don't like to speak to people, it's that I'm not used to speaking around a large amount of people, you know, corporate world. And they ask is that you check up on their work and make sure your work, and make sure that the employee is doing job the right job for the what they asked for, you know. And I learned that from somebody somebody who taught me that. I mean, I knew some of it, but I didn't know everything, you know. Yeah. So, yeah, and I just want to be able to grow my speaking skills and everything. I'm not going to give them my Kimberly Cloud Show email address, because I don't want them to, you know, connect my email address with my show. You know, I don't even like giving that thing out no more, because they'd be like, ma'am, what's your email address? I'd be like, the Kimberly Cloud Show at yahoo.com. They'd be like, oh, okay. Open up new browser. The Kimberly Cloud Show. Oh, okay. You know, I'd be like, oh man. And I may make one for Blue Cloud Cleaning 2.0. So yeah. But with that being said, you guys, I am about to get off of here. It's been a pleasure. Every day that I get on here, it's a pleasure. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I should be back on here one more or twice, once, or maybe none. Who knows? Definitely take care, be safe, and I'll see you guys another time. Bye.
Never waste my time, you all I want.